How are you? Just then, it's like life is weird, and I think increasingly, you think about Pluto moving through Aquarius and how there's a signature of power to the people. And boy, oh boy, are we living in these times. I couldn't help but ramble in my daily readings where I had early awakenings, and then I started to become aware of some of uh, okay, I mean, becoming aware and then like rooting it out as far as like political corruption and systemic injustice. And I'm now sitting a course with a set of amazing teachers. It's about neurodivergent rising and how um, neurodivergent people can often recognize patterns, feel. So there's a really like hyper vigilant and or just porous. She uses that word porous. Um, body, nervous system. We're feelers. Feelers are healers. Like you perceive things beyond the veil because you can feel the distortion. And yeah, I just think through crises, illness, um, and just straight down the line isms that are highly, highly unjust, more and more people be rising, more and more people standing saying, no, this, you're not going to get away with this. No, we're not going to pay taxes. No, we're not going to work like this. No, no, because most of us don't want to be in service to cruel, 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 not cool, cruel leadership. And we no longer want to be in this weird extraction model and debt-based model where we're destroying the planet to then sell back those resources to numbed out consumers. Oh God. And so that, I mean, the the environmental issue was part of my desire to create the zero waste and vegan course. I'm not a radical vegan, that's just my personal choice, but I do think most of us could do with like consuming less or more consciously. And then the clarifying your mind, I created the Unplug for Freedom course, and then the spirituality course, which is really just my long multiple decades of like having these awarenesses and then doing lots of training and courses and sharing that back with you guys. Hey, how are you? Good morning. It's morning time for me. It's like 3 in the morning. So it's funny because I woke up and I had a message from a client who's meant to have yoga this morning, and she also couldn't sleep. So funny, isn't it? Unplug from the matrix. Yeah, I call it unplug for freedom, as in to have greater autonomy of your own mind, best not to engage. I have to say now, I'm pretty sure I did put it in there because even I was finishing that course in 2019. And there's a whole section of Unplug for Freedom in my book as well, where just the early stages of reclaiming your mind, not being triggered into fear and panic. Because let's be real, seeing constant bombardment of war and drama and division and buy this because you're less than, like, it's just so taxing on us, which then warrants the compassion for why we all have addictions or why we're all dealing with so many different like PTSD and CPTSD, right? Complex post traumatic stress, because one, most of us, if not all of us, have inherited some kind of generational trauma. For example, my parents were both adopted, and that adoption, there's a gaping adoption wound. Which goes deep. It also means like there's no sense of like lineage or ancestry. However, that's the power of intuition. and emotional alchemical healing is that like I've been able to unpack and perceive a lot just through going really, really deep into my own like heart and reality, and having an understanding of like even the collective wound around crying out is a big one. It's really painful to feel that neglect. And then more recently, I'm doing a course to better understand patriarchy, colonialism, and capitalism, how they all kind of work together, and how nefarious and or the backbone of the global elite and the people trying to be in control and have power, but how that power and control only comes through brutal, brutal violence, and that the violence traumatizes everybody to stay quiet. And yet, it's not actually about being loud, it's about knowing your truth, knowing your power, and like trusting your path to guide you in safety. Um, See, there's a remembrance, and I don't particularly align with like star seeds and chosen ones because the potential egoic separation. We're human, we're all human in these bodies, certainly, but in that from a soul's perspective, you can open yourself up to your multidimensional reality, as in I know it myself and other creators, like they've had dreams of different dimensions. I have memories of different star systems. I have, but, and yet that information, if it's dissociating me from my present reality, probably not the best thing, right? Um, so for me, it's more kind of personal around like mastering manifestation, keep keep on keeping on, as far as like how do I want to live? How do I want to be free? How do I want to be an expression of joy? How do I want to be a container for healing? How do I, like, all these things? And like it's kind of cool, the noodles. And I must say, like, I'm actually even amazed at how much time I've spent alone. It's been 10 years now, 10 years since I took huge leaps, and like the loops of shame, or what's wrong with me, or da 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 da, and now just being like, oh, or just unique, and unique like everybody else, like a spark of source light like everybody else. And um that can be reflected back, and the more I love that self and accept that self, the more it just feels better. And yet there's been huge tunnels of darkness that I have traversed to come out the other side. So I'm grateful. I'm grateful to be alive. I'm grateful for all the people who have taught me wonderful lessons, painful at times, but you know, I kind of owned that many, many moons ago, owning that I have chosen. Like part of my early awakenings when I was like 19, I remember crying and crying and crying, and I remember, I think my sister was with me, and I was just crying and crying, being like, I don't understand. I don't like understand the pain of the world. And like, I wish I could do more. I wish, yeah. And just that little spark of like, let me be of service. Show me the way. Show me, and like being at a bit of a standstill. And then more recently, uncovering these collectives of people that are really endeavoring to help us understand and teach us how to then deconstruct patriarchy, colonialism, and capitalism, because those are the historical framework, um, systemic trauma points for the collective. As in, for a lot of people, they're going to need to understand intellectually what their body is processing, because it's not rational. Because most people get fixated on so and so did that to me in this lifetime. But what we're not acknowledging is, one, the multidimensionality, but also the ancestral lineage that brought us to this point, and that we're just in loop normally. And yet here we are at a time where the universal cosmic forces are also shape-shifting us and reflecting to us that we are in fast, dynamic change collectively. From my perspective, new paradigm shift, better. not worse, even though we're seeing the darkest of the dark and the most monstrous acts of humanity and the most disgusting, just like, why would people do that? And how intertwined so many of our global spiritual leaders, global economic, global spiritual leaders, a lot of people like out there in the world, like being special and important, they're all intertwined in like not nice things. And that's part of opening the Pandora's box, right? Pulling that curtain back to see the wizard as just a dude, not a great and powerful Oz. So we pull that curtain back, hence where power back to the people. I'm not going to give my power to you people because you're gross, you're cruel, right? So we pull back the power and we're going to see massive things change within our global economic system, but we're that change. I would assume those so-called people will still skirt accountability and wield their power and gaslight everybody and lie until they're handcuffed, kind of thing, and put away. But anywho, yes. Yeah, Zeitgeist I watched back in like 2006, I think. And I remember reading The Secret. I didn't quite resonate with it back then until I started to see the effect of manifestation in my own life. Then I was like, maybe there is something to it. And yet for my own personal mish, it's like there's layers and depth to healing the emotional body to align ourselves with the higher timeline of what we really want to manifest, not what we're programmed to want to manifest, i.e., and I've totally fell into this trap. Like, we're all supposed to want big, fancy cars and nice big houses. And again, there's an egoic function, is that most of us want the materiality to feel powerful rather than knowing that we are powerful and that will attract the materiality that we are, kind of thing. Hey, happy to be here with you guys. Let's just pull a few little cards for you. I just can't, because it's like seeing all the stuff. Seeing my feed on Instagram, certainly, and maybe a little bit on TikTok, but my feed is a lot about you know, some of those files being released, and just, I mean, one, why is it taking so long? Two, it's just like, it's so obvious to me. We don't need the files. It's just like, the weirdness is like how many people in positions of power. Oh, do you know, that was also part of like my awareness, is that as we are breaking, so on a very personal level, as we break free from narcissistic entanglements, as we break free from giving our power to other people, as we break in our personal lives, right? Seeing things for what they are, seeing the lie, not tolerating abuse at work, at home, at da 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 da. All of that is the personal, then into the collective, more and more people waking up to the broader, like, those power dynamics are interplaying in our lives, so they are in the world. As we cut them out, as we stand them down, as we shine light for ourselves and truly believe in ourselves, those people no longer have that power. And because here's the thing, we give them our power, which is what makes them powerful. So we start turning away and giving power to, I don't know, maybe we could give some love and power to the children in our lives. Maybe we could spend more time with the people we love. Maybe we could just give our own self like the power to be who we want to be. And it doesn't have to be anything special, because you're inherently a divine spark of life force and existence, and you're infinite and you're eternal. You know, and like science is backing all of these great spiritual teachings, we're not like, we can't live in denial anymore. And I think that's a part of what upholds these power structures are people living in denial. I didn't say that. I didn't do that. I didn't, as in these leaders, oh, well, they mean well. And you're like, no, they're just, no, that's not, no, like, as in, why do we need to protect people that are not nice or kind? And also, it's more like if we're raping children or like graping or trafficking or using, oh God, I just think, the time shall come where we can see all these nefarious activities for what they are and choose different. That's the thing. If we can't see things for what they are, we can't make a different choice. Ugh, this world. I want to say like what a clusterfuck or shit show or something, but at the same time, I live in a really beautiful part of the world and I love it. And I love this world. And I have a little profound, like part of my early awakenings were just seeing pain in the world and being like, please let me try to, like, I wish we were happy. I wish we could be happy. I wish we could love each other. I wish we could genuinely care about one another. I wish the structures were more fair and balanced and whole. I wish our leaders wanted to actually serve the people rather than just themselves and they're like homies, It's like mm. My friend was driving a few streets away and he said the streetlights. That's interesting. Mm. Yeah, so that's definitely part of the trace when you follow the money, right? And you see how corporate entity have yeah, endeavored to take over resources, data. And I mean, straight up, if you look at one planet shared by its people, we have a right to exist, therefore we have a right to share the world's resources. The fact that these resources, including our own data and life force, is siphoned from us and then sold back to us. Talk about extraction model and talk about something that isn't sustainable. It's parasitic. It's like, I'm pretty sure a tick, once it's had enough blood, it just dies. It just falls off the creature. So parasitic energy is base, and it's not a creation model. It's a destruction model. To create more resources, there has to be more destruction. And I think that's what is tiresome, and more of a divine intervention and recognition that that's not our future. It's our past. It's a construct. It's a way that we've adopted to survive, to live. But things are changing. Definitely. They're definitely changing. Let's pull some cards for this collective. Thanks for being here. Thanks for your likes and your subscribes. I appreciate you guys. I do exclusive live shares with my patrons usually Monday or Tuesday. And they get the live link, so they'll know when I'm going live. Divine guidance and love and clarity is my intention. Divine guidance and love and clarity. Let's see what we get. We did get one ace. Looks like there's an offer coming in, but you're not going to take it. Like there's an offer of love, or just maybe somebody wants to take you on a date, and the Ace of Wands reverse. It's like, no, thank you. This looks like some of you could be in a very kind of confused state of being, non-committal, like you're not even sure what you want or what direction you want to go in, which is fine, you know. It's like just life. That's another weird thing about the patriarchy and like this world is like we're supposed to know. You do be a good citizen and be a teacher, do these things. It's like really? Like, we're supposed to, like, know these things, but most of us can barely grow food. Most of us don't even know how to light a fire. Most of it, like, you know what I mean? Like, basic survival skills and nature stuff we don't know, but we're meant to, like, have a career in this world, which is just polluting the world and, like, programming us to be consumer slaves. It's like, what the fuck are we doing? Could we not? That's the thing. I buy all secondhand. That's part of my zero waste course. It's part of my vegan course as well. Like I just have been buying secondhand since 11 or 2012. I haven't watched mainstream anything. Like I don't even know. I never know. Like I obviously get insight through social media, but like I don't know what like the mainstream news is saying other than like more fear, more propaganda, more imperialist propaganda. Oh, good night. Good night. Silk steel kitchen witchery. I like it. Ooh, you make your own clothes. Holla Shazam. I want to learn how to knit, actually. Ooh, tarot card. Ooh, ooh. Yeah, so offer, possibly not going to take the offer. Why? In the central energy, you're not, you're a little bit like discombobulated or confused or like not sure which direction you want to go. I'm hearing a song, but I'm also hearing a message via the song, talking to the moon. For some of you, it's a full moon right now. We're in a full moon energy, right? So like howling with the moon, talking to the moon, talking to the sunshine, whatever, right? That might help reinvigorate your sense of connection. It's almost like this energy of wanting to upgrade, wanting to grow, and yet I think about like our phone addictions and just like how the phone addiction and social media chaos is like it's all kind of disrupting our ability to focus. So that could be also this central energy. So connecting to the stars, connecting to the moon, connecting, to the things that light you up, full moon lit by the sun, right? Re-invoking your spirituality and your connection. Let's get a little bit more clarity for that Queen of Wands here. Some of you are just possibly a bit lonely. Like alone with your distractions or like just feeling, yes, distracted and non-committal, not sure what direction to go. The howling to the moon or like the singing to the moon, connecting to the moon. And then I'm like, I want more clarity. So then I get the Two of Cups and the Four of Wands. To me, that is an epic love signature, those two together. It's not only like meeting a divine counterpart or meeting somebody who reflects you, it's then it has the potential for engagement and, of course, marriage, as in that shared love exchange has the potential to go the distance as far as creating stronger foundations together, and then also having a fantastic time, being able to celebrate the union, being able to celebrate the structure, the new structure for more reciprocity in your relationships, right? More, more grounding, more reciprocity, more creative alignment, more values aligned. And then let's just pull maybe from these two and then see. So yeah, there's something about creating the life that you want. I think that's even part of this, like, being discombobulated, being a bit unsure, is that you're running to get focused with the alchemist slash magician card. Like if you want love, if you want better relationship, intend to create it. Make space for it in your life. If you want reciprocity, if you want a commitment, if you want a celebration, make space for it in your life. Intend to create it. There is something about magic and dance and celebration, because this card, I get these almost like mermaid type creatures that are like frolicking in the woodland, and I really get a sense of like playing with nature and or having at least one other friend or somebody that you can like share ideas with and get kind of lit up by. Where was I hearing that recently? Very recently. What was it? Something about like what lights us up. The father. I'm getting that's like possibly like healing father wounding, but that can also, collectively speaking, that can be connecting to us healing the patriarchy, which again is the false matrix or the colonialist capitalist structure, which the reason how these systems thrive is through our disconnection and violent trauma, whether this lifetime or past lifetimes. So what we're endeavoring to outwork collectively for a better future is our painful emotions, but also to harmonize power as control, dominance, and fear, shifting into power as love, unity, and Christ consciousness. So, knowing the power that we have to choose as an awakening vessel to our own divinity, to then share that light, but also to share the material birthing of that creation. It's kind of epic, like these stories we tell. So, for some of you, this is actually very charged by your career as well. The fact that you're wanting to move forward, find more economy, come out of your head space, trust in the flow. You want to get a bit clear emotionally as well, to get like that's the alchemist. There's a studiousness, there's a like you wanting to study, you're wanting to read, you're wanting to get more clear, maybe spend a bit of time alone, because what you want is higher. What you want or what you're creating is better reciprocal love, stronger foundations in values and creativity, and also more fun. Like for some of you, you just want to have more fun. I'm noticing those mushrooms. For some of you, you might be leaping into new worlds. Part of it could be also plant medicine. Some of you might venture into the world of plant medicine and ceremony. Stay curious. Just stay curious about it all. I'll take that message as well. I'm going to leave it there, you guys. Thanks so much. Thanks so much for all your likes and your subs. If you think anyone would like my brand, or if you want to shop, you can go to the store, the shop front, via my website. You can buy my book on Amazon. You can check out my online courses. You can, of course, sign up to my Patreon community, which there's one option where you get a 7-day free trial. And if you can't afford the monthly sub, you can get the 7-day free trial, and you can still watch some of the past shares. And then if you're not digging it, obviously you just cancel, or you can stay signed up for as little as a $5 a month. For 20 a month, you get, I think it's a 10% discount on working with me, and you also get access to the Be the Change courses, and that is all. So top tier patrons get a little bit more access and discounts, which obviously over time definitely makes up the difference of the monthly sub. I am on Instagram, I am on TikTok. Sometimes I want to come off all the apps, but I really appreciate the YouTube. It's kind of where it all started for me. But yeah, check out Ultra Love website, subscribe there to stay connected, and I hope you guys have a really, really great day. I'll see you soon. Take care. Peace out.